Frank, players had hybrids, some had irons out off the tee on that short par 4 second. Time to get the big stick out here on third.
It certainly is. The third hole you play here, 3 totally different looks off the tee. This hole appears straightish off the tee, but well bunkered down the left, which makes you push that tee shot a little to the right.
I mean, he just blasted it. And this is looking really good. That is classy.
Well, had a chance of going in.
Just a couple of feet. Frank, this is the kind of start every player wants.
Yeah, swinging it well. Certainly hitting the ball in the right place there. And, yep, good thing, too. He's actually putting well.
Frank, here's a case at the 4th hole, this par 3, of Pete Dye kind of messing with a player's mind. Just how does he do it?
Well, there's a straight line between that tee and the flag. That's the obvious thing. But if you follow the look of the hole down there, it's just the shaping of the bunkers, a little curving in the edges there that just take that mind's eye away, almost making it look like there's a little bit of a dog leg in a straight hole. Very clever.
Setting himself up for a good weekend, the wily golf instructor makes his birdie.
Frank, what'd you say at the top? Die on the left, die on the right. Is this what you were talking about?
Exactly, yeah. The 5th hole here, it's called double trouble. So yeah, there's chances for grief on both sides of this fairway. But if you're long enough, you can just sneak it past 335. That's where the water runs out. This is reachable.
So if you do sneak it out there, and that would be the longer hitters, you might have what into this green?
Well, you can get home hybrid, maybe even something shorter. But remember, it's called double trouble. Avoid that. Maybe double eagle.
Big swing right there, and a great result. And now a chance for a big swing in momentum with an eagle coming up. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Frank, this looks like a fun hole. The first par 5 of the day, 535-yard fifth.
Yeah, as long as you've got something that doesn't go left off the tee shot and doesn't go right off the second shot, you'll be fine.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
That will be a great look at birdie. Shouldn't be a problem here. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been.
Frank, this is like a big water park here at PGA West. We saw it at the 6th, and here again at the 7th, a challenging par 4, 346 yards.
I've never, ever seen anyone try and drive this green, so it's just a layup. See the bunker down there in the distance, that really is the stop sign. So something that's short of that, but really what I prefer is try and lay up on a nice number, something that you got a full shot in, whether that be a 9-iron or an 8-iron or a wedge. You'd like to have a full club in here.
That's another green hit in regulation, and that has been the story all day, just wearing out the center of that club face. And he has it for birdie.
555-yard par 5 8th hole. Frank, is this a 2-shotter or a 3-shotter?
Good question, Rich. It starts to shrink down by the walkway, which is around that 330-yard mark. That's the decision has to be made. Personally, I think you try it at first, because even if you do find a fairway bunker, then it is certainly a layup. If you've got the distance, it's well worth the risk.
Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are, because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Frank, not where he wants to be, but not out of the hole here at the
Woods.
And Frank, that steady play continues.
Rock solid. Excellent approach shot.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt.
Virtually no error in that putting stroke. Good putt.
Frank, the 9th hole, a par 4 measuring 452 yards. This is no picnic.
This is the toughest tee shot on the front side. The easy way to bail out down the left side, it might appear that way off the tee, but then it becomes a zigzag hole where it's very easy to clock up something like a 6. The bunker down that right side, just 300 yards to get past that, but it's almost like he gives you an option there. If you do want to challenge that right side, the bunker just might save you from going in the water. But there's no question, the best drive is down the right, but it's the most dangerous one.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot.
What a nice shot. Right on the green and a pretty easy putt on the way. Not a gimme, but well within his range. So the dominant performance continues.
Yeah, we're watching two tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. That's beyond long.
That is a sensational play right there, and you have to think that the little helping breeze gave that a nice boost.
He can't be that good.
Really in control of this hole. Birdie yesterday and another opportunity on the way. This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday and trying for another one today. Frank, you hate to miss it from that distance.
More than a setback there.
Right about 9 feet here to the hole. That's how you maintain momentum. Make those putts for par.
Well, Frank, how about this hole? Par 5 11th at 617 yards.
The goal here is to take all those bunkers down that left side completely out of play. You get it far enough down there, you can get close to this green. But if you do stray a little bit, all of a sudden, well, it's called eternity. You're going to find that this hole will play very long.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way.
Well, that ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough.
Frank, here we go again. Another shot from the rough.
Yeah, let's see if he learned his lesson.
Well, that's what separates the good players from the great players. The ability to get it that close from that kind of lie. Locked in on the read and the speed. Good putt.
Frank, Pete Dye always gets a player thinking what might be going through a player's mind right here.
You're going to play it as a layup. You know, that's a given. It's just what distance you want. And for every distance you're going to hit it off the tee, Pete Dye gives you a different challenge. If you lay it all the way back, obviously you've got the widest fairway. Then you've got the longer second shot. Get a little closer, it starts to shrink up, shrink up, shrink up. So it's how much do you want to bite off? Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Long drive, but a bad lie.
Wicked. Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
Birdie try up next. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either.
Frank, what do you make of this par 3 13th at 214 yards?
It's another example of Pete Dye using those sort of very harsh wooden bulkheads that give you that such a definitive line around the edge of the green. Plus, it's his ability to turn a straight hole into a very angular or crooked-looking hole.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
He has this for birdie. Oh, yeah, he's made it for a birdie. 14th hole, par 4 of 389 yards. It is short, but Frank, there is some danger lurking along the way.
Yeah, most of it's sand. Two options really. Poke it down that left side, let it run down there like a bowling alley. Either that or take that bunker completely out of play, 290, 300 yard category, and get it down there where it's just a flick wedge in.
So the golf ball ends up in that first cut. It's a little bit less than 2 inches. You can see the golf ball. Should be able to get at it, but may not be able to control the spin. We'll see. Not close, but not bad either. That one is about 25 feet away. Now this for birdie. Came away with par in the previous round.
Frank, that looked good to me.
That was a good run at it, Rich.
This is a 9-footer. Well, considering the lead that he has on the rest of the field, a par is all you need. Par 4 15th, measuring in at 468 yards.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin.
Second shot now at 15.
This is a good-looking shot. Had a birdie here yesterday, in there close. Great opportunity for another one. Settles in over the putt. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Frank, this could be an exciting and pivotal point in the round, the par 5 16th.
Especially if the player decides to have a go here. If you're going to take it on a direct line, then you've got to carry all of that bunker complex. But then the other thing to realize, what's the worst thing that can happen? Just in the bunker, right? It's worth a go. Either that, hit it down the right side. There's no way you're going to reach this par 5 and 2.
Nice position, short grass, second shot. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Will not be happy with that one. Will make birdie if this drops. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been.
So, Frank, you arrive on the tee box. What are you thinking here as you look out at the hole they call Alcatraz, par 3 17th at 168 yards?
Well, we've seen it all here, Rich, from that hole-in-one that Lee Trevino had in the Skins game all the way back in 1987 to people splashing away left, right, and center. No advice here. You can see what's in front of you.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
And he has it for birdie.
One great hole after another here at PGA West. The finishing hole, no exception. Frank, what can we expect here?
Great finishing hole. It's amazing. If you took the 3 bunkers we're first going to see down the right side, this would almost be a nothing hole. Because they're perfectly situated here, they really shrink up that driving area down the left side. And this is just a reward for a great swing, a great strike, a great shot.
Oh, can't hide the flag stick from that man.
Birdie here yesterday. This putt again for birdie.
No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
So all the scores have been posted for round number 2, and look who is on top of the leaderboard, Frank.
Yeah, with 2 very solid rounds of golf. Key right now, just stay out of your own way and keep it up. The pressure will start to build. We know that as you get closer to the end of this tournament.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Today it's live third round coverage of the Career Builder Challenge. And now we go down to the first hole. Frank, it's a different feeling on the first tee on a weekend. Third round of a championship like this than, say, in the first round, isn't it?
You know you've got the grips of the golf course. You know the holes that are birdieable out there. More importantly, too, you know how well you're playing. It's all in front of you. Sport, especially like this at the highest level.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
On the green. And a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Made par yesterday. This one for birdie.
Teed up here at the second hole, Frank, this is a short par 4 measuring about 370 yards.
While it mightn't have the yardage, it's certainly made up in strategy by all the bunkering down about. One down the left, you see, is about 285 yards to carry, and then that next crop comes in just about 300 yards. So you've got to decide whether to go over the bunker on the left and short of the other one, or even lay up to the right, perhaps short. And that's where you realize this is very much a 2-shot hole, and play it that way. When you consider the length of that putt, that's a good putt.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
How about this? Birdies at 1 and 2. We could be in for something pretty special today. Moving to the third hole, it's a par 4 again. This one 471 yards. Outstanding tee shot.
Yeah, ball sitting up. You don't have to worry about the wind or anything there. You just take a full-blooded cut at the second shot from here.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card. Now to the fourth, 192 yards and a pretty tough hole location here today. Here we go.
Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. This for another birdie on this hole on the week.
A good solid stroke there, no sign of nerves on that.
Well, here we are at the fifth hole, a 535-yard par 5 for the long-hitting professionals. Frank, certainly not a long test. What is the challenge here on this hole?
It's another example of great design by Pete Dye. He'll give you the trouble on the left on the tee shot, and then he moves the trouble to the right on the second shot. He's going to get you one way or the other. Hazard.
Maybe wet. Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Get down. Lay down. Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
Never looked like missing.
What a hole this is. 255 yards, par 3, water everywhere you look. This is a real test.
It's called Amen, and whatever religion that you subscribe to, you better say a prayer before this one.
Good looking shot right here. That is classy.
A chance of going in.
Just 5 feet left. Frank, we have said it over and over. Another birdie. We're at the 7th now, 346 yards with plenty of water on that right side. How do you handle this one, Frank?
You've got to pick a target there. A lot of people think when they're laying up off the tee, and that's exactly what this hole is. You just blaze away at something down the left side. But if you're going to pick a tree, don't just pick the tree. Pick a branch or a leaf. Be more specific.
So short iron in hand now at the par 4-7. Good opportunity to make a birdie. That's good stuff right there. Wonderful approach, and now a really good look at birdie.
Well, I thought they'd at least pick up a shot. Birdie looked like a sitter. Now at par.
Nothing wrong with that par putt. Now we're at the 8th hole here at PGA West in La Quinta, California. 559-yard par 5. Frank, what are the options here?
A good tee shot, you can certainly reach this par 5 and 2. There's a crosswalk that comes across in that vicinity of 330 yards. That's sort of the green light area if you can get it down there. Anything short of that, it becomes very much a 3-shotter. But if you can get it close to that crosswalk that goes there, then certainly this becomes opportunity knocks.
This hole really sets up well for the player. Birdie yesterday, and a chance for another one today. Shouldn't be a problem here. Continues to roll it very well all day long. Frank, the 9th hole, a par 4 measuring 452 yards. This is no picnic.
This is the toughest tee shot on the front side. The easy way to bail out down the left side, it might appear that way off the tee, but then it becomes a zigzag hole where it's very easy to clock up something like a 6. The bunker down that right side, just 300 yards to get past that, but it's almost like he gives you an option there. If you do want to challenge that right side, the bunker just might save you from going in the water. But there's no question, the best drive is down the right, but it's the most dangerous one.
Oh, without a doubt, that will be on the highlight reel later tonight. Excellent shot. Rich Lerner pleased to be alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. Back to PGA West, getting set for the back 9 And the 10th hole, it's a good-looking hole, Frank, at 416 yards.
It certainly gets your attention, just the visual there. This is one of those holes, if you've got a caddy, you say, oh, what's that carry over the bunker on that left side where the water is? He'll tell you it's like 240 yards. And then you say, well, what's it to the bunkers on the right? Well, to get past those ones on the right side, you're in the vicinity of 300 yards. This is a hole that you'll scratch your head.
He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday, and he'd do it again today. Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Boy, this is a long par 5, the 11th at PGA West, 617 yards. That's in the fairway. And from the fairway for his second shot here. Well, you can hear it right off the center of the club face. This has a chance to be close. Not too unhappy with that, Frank, at 17 feet.
From that distance, it's more than good.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
Great sense of speed in that. You know you can make those, but that one right in the middle.
Right now another clever, small par 4, only 363 yards here at the 12th.
A couple of different options here, Rich. You can lay it up just short of where that nose of the bunker starts to poke out on the right side of the fairway. Then you're going to be left with something in the sort of 140, 150 yard mark to the flag. Or if you want to get a little sort of greedy, you start to sneak it up there where it gets narrow. He goes after it like he is here.
Just pulverized that golf ball.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up. Oh, that hurts. Looks like he just misread that. These putts keep the round together. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now teeing off here at the par 3, 13th. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot in there. Easy birdie.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Frank, what's the best way to make 3 here at this 389-yard par 4 14th?
I'm not sure, really. I know there's 2 definitive options, hitting it down the left or carrying over the bunker. And I think that's another example of Pete Dye. There's one of those holes you never really know if you've made the right play until you finish the hole.
Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. Going to need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
Frank, this one looks like it might have a postage stamp on it. Airmail City.
Yeah, lick it. Send it.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Trying to make yet another birdie. Score that a birdie. Solid par 4 here. The 15th is 468 yards.
Oh, I liked that.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Par yesterday, now for birdie. Continues to roll the ball very well.
Here we go now, the final par 5 of the day, Frank.
Yeah, decision on how much you bite off here. If you play the ball to the right, then it's going to play its full 600 yards. But if you can take it in a direct line at that green, you're going to chew off a little bit of yardage, but you have to be able to carry that bunker.
And through the years, a lot of excitement here at this par 5 16th.
There's always advantage of hitting it further than most, Rich, and straighter than most. When you put the two together, it's just straight up a head start.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he was thinking on that.
It's in the hole. Just a sensational shot right there.
Well, there it is. They call it Alcatraz. Just sitting out there on the water, 168 yards away, Frank.
Well, speaking of water, that water looks so peaceful, doesn't it? It'd be a shame to spoil it with a splash.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. What a display of shot-making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Good putt.
Well, here we are at 18. It's a par 4, only 439 yards, but again, we've said it all day long. Water to deal with.
It's a great driving hole here, Rich. You don't necessarily have to hit driver. There's three groups of bunkers that are really in play off the tee shot. It's the one in the middle. It's around 290 yards. That's the one you really have to focus on. For stronger players, there's nothing wrong with hitting 3-wood off the tee there. You're still only going to have a shot of 150, 160 yards. Whichever way you look at it, it's something that you think you can find the fairway with.
Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
And he has it for birdie.
Frank, that front page of the leaderboard has been looking good all week.
You're exactly right, Rich. I think our winner is certainly going to come from that list right now. I'm excited for tomorrow's final round.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour.
Today it's live final round coverage of the Career Builder Challenge.
I'm loving that balance.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Well, those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now. Great start.
Teed up here at the second hole, Frank, this is a short par 4 measuring about 370 yards.
while it mightn't have the yardage, it's certainly made up in strategy by all the bunkering down here, Rich. And it's really two bunkers that you've got to, or two complexes that you've really got to worry about. One down the left, you see, is about 285 yards to carry, and then that next crop comes in just about 300 yards. So you've got to decide whether to go over the bunker on the left and short of the other one, or even lay up to the right, perhaps short. And that's where you realize this is very much a two-shot hole, and play it that way.
Playing this par 4, still not on the par. Wow, what a shot. Doesn't even need the putter. Now to the third hole, a par 4, 471 yards. Frank, break this hole down for us.
Well, the trouble appears down that left side with the series of bunkers, but you've got to take into account the trees that are well positioned down the right side. Plus, as you can see, this fairway is not exactly flat.
Wow, Frank, look at that one. How it just blistered that tee shot.
Well, that has to be 325 if it's an inch.
Good looking shot right here. Really in control of this hole. Birdie yesterday and another opportunity on the way. Birdie try again here today. Had a nice birdie on this hole yesterday. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. You've let one go. You've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
First par 3 of the day. It is the fourth here at PGA West, sitting at just under 200 yards in the card. Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up. 14 feet to the hole. You hate to miss the short ones. Ouch. Clean this up with a tap. And he makes it for par. So we played our first par 3, now to the first par 5 on this golf course at PGA West. It is the 535-yard fifth hole. Frank, it appears as though it rewards precision off the tee.
And the bombers, too. You can run out of water at 335 yards. So with the Dustin Johnsons of the world and the Rory McIlroys, that's nearly doable. But if you can't hit it that far, it's quite obvious. You've got to keep it down the right side. And for those people, they put two little bunkers there.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Couldn't have done much better than that. An eagle is very possible.
Really solid stroke.
Frank, I love a par 3 where you have to hit one solid golf shot. Anything less, and you might pay a severe price. 255-yard par 3-6. What a hole.
No, you love watching somebody else play a par 3 like that.
You're right. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Jeez, that one just blew past the hole. It's actually on the fringe right now. Settles in over the putt. That's a bogey, but still in the lead.
We start to see shots in hand really valuable.
We're at the seventh now, 346 yards with plenty of water on that right side. How do you handle this one, Frank?
You've got to pick a target there. A lot of people think when they're laying up off the tee, and that's exactly what this hole is. You just blaze away at something down the left side. But if you're going to pick a tree, you just pick the tree. Pick a branch or a leaf. Be more specific.
Frank, this is obviously a green light situation.
It is, because of the tee shot. A smart layup here gives you the chance to go straight at this flag.
This is a good-looking shot. Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
And that's a birdie. Well, Frank, here at the par 5 8th, 559 yards. Looks as though the player's getting a break from the water, but there is some trouble out there.
Yeah, there certainly is bunkering both on the left and the right. Once again, though, par 5s are always an opportunity for the longer hitter. Even if you stray a little offline, then it just becomes a free shotter like it is for everybody else.
Now the second shot to the par 5. Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Frank, it's not about getting the ball close to the hole from that spot.
Well, he had no chance to get it close. I thought he had very, very, very little chance of getting it on the green. So given that, that was a very good shot. How did that not go in?
Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par. Well read.
Frank, the ninth hole at 452 yards with that water down the right is really a test of a player's driving ability, isn't it?
It is, and his ability to sort of take the shot on. Ideally, just something with a little bit of a fade, unless you can carry the ball 300 yards, then you can get it just past that bunker. But when you look at this hole, notice how that fairway just starts to open up. So Pete Dye will reward an aggressive tee shot, but also he'll punish it if it's wayward.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Setting up to start the back 9 here, and if it's anywhere near as good as the front 9, Frank Hill will be very happy with his score at the end of the day.
Yeah, the hardest thing right now is to just keep doing the same thing without focusing on the score. That's an absolute beauty.
Frank, is this a definite green light, the approach at the par 4 10th?
Well, there's enough opportunities at PGA West for the long hitters. This is an opportunity for the really good iron players. This is where they have a chance to shine, because a good iron player will give himself a birdie par here. A poor iron player here, all of a sudden they'll find trouble.
Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Boy, this is a long par 5, the 11th at PGA West, 617 yards. Well, we've arrived at our third par 5 of the day here at PGA West. It is the 11th. It is nicknamed, appropriately, Eternity, 617 yards. That was just a beautiful drive and hit it solid and right in the middle. This could be a huge momentum swing here, Frank.
Yeah, one more good swing, and he's going to have an eagle putt coming up. I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but it is well on the cards. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Big swing right there, and a great result. And now a chance for a big swing in momentum with an eagle coming up. And he's made it for eagle.
Now the par 4 12th, only 363 yards, but Frank, it is intricate. There's a lot involved, isn't there, in playing a hole like this?
Yeah, I think this is where you have to work out, which clubs do you hit the best? Are you better with a 9-iron, are you better with the wedge? Because that's the distance you want to hit it to. That's how you can be aggressive, even when you're laying up.
Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle. And the lie pretty much dictated the result. Thick rough, tough to get that all the way to the green.
Trying to muscle it out of there, but you had to be Schwarzenegger to get that one done. Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Frank, we talk so often about striking a golf ball. This player is a superior ball striker, but there's another element involved, isn't there?
It's called distance control. It's not the number on the bottom of the club you're hitting. It's knowing how far it goes to avoid mistakes just like that.
He'll need to be strong with this. And he's made it onto the green now. Locked in on the read and the speed. Not a problem from there, right in the middle. And now we're at the par 3 13th hole, 214 yards. Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Trying to make yet another birdie. Frank, what's the best way to make 3 here at this 389-yard par 4 14th?
I'm not sure, really. I know there's 2 definitive options, hitting it down the left or carrying over the bunker. And I think that's another example of Pete Dye. There's one of those holes you never really know if you've made the right play until you finish the hole.
Slight miss, and he'll have to deal with some of the heavy grass. This, the second shot here at the par 4. Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much. It was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Oh, what an incredible shot. Well, Frank, we are turning home. It says so on the scorecard here at 15.
It is, and once again, another example of great bunkering by Pete Dye. Bunkers on a lot of golf courses are just simply left and right, but what Pete Dye does, he lets them cut in, especially that one. That's probably the best line, is to get it just past that last bunker on the left side.
Good-looking shot right here. Good shot, 14 feet away.
It's that sneaky distance.
Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Par 5 16th is a slight dog-leg left at 600 yards. .315. Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. That shot does finish up on the green, but it sets up for a very difficult putt. This is a long putt. Really, the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus. Oh my goodness, that one just rocketed by the hole. It's actually on the fringe right now. In the cup. What a shot. Can't get much better than that. Well, we've arrived at Alcatraz, the signature hole here at PGA West. Well, let's see, Frank. The par 3 17th, just 168 yards. You can't miss it right. Can't miss it left. Can't miss it short. You can't miss it long. Good luck. And this is looking really good.
It's like cyber vision. Shot after shot, right at the flag.
Just dialed in. Shouldn't be a problem here. So the dominant performance continues.
Yeah, we're watching two tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
One great hole after another here at PGA West. The finishing hole, no exception. Frank, what can we expect here?
Great finishing hole. It's amazing. If you took the three bunkers we're first going to see down the right side, this would almost be a nothing hole. But because they're perfectly situated here, they really shrink up that driving area down the left side. And this is just a reward for a great swing, a great strike, a great shot. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Well, how do you like that? He's holding. Just a phenomenal play right there. That's why you play the game, to stack up the wins. Great effort right there. Presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. Set in the Sonoran Desert and surrounded by the majestic McDowell Mountains, we're at the stadium course at TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lohner alongside Frank Nobilo, set to bring you all the action for today's event. Frank, when you think about the TPC Scottsdale, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
The golf course has been radically changed in 2014, but it still hasn't lost its luster. Really, it's just been updated like the game itself for these young, strong players of the modern era.
That's one of the more depressing sights in golf. You hit a good one, and then it just sucks back too much spin off the green.
So he didn't hit the green in regulation, but he still has a reasonably good chance to save his par, about 10 feet away. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Par 4 second hole, a little bit longer than the first, this one at 442 yards.
Yeah, they've added a new tee, changed the bunkering down the right side. Still a semi-blind tee shot, a hole that bends softly to the left side. The bunkering around this green has changed. Still, it requires a very precise tee shot.
I mean, he just blasted it down the fairway, well over 325 yards. Good scoring opportunity right here from 125 yards or so. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
So into the top 15 on the leaderboard with that birdie. A few more, and who knows, maybe top 10 or top 5. Now on to the third, first par 5 on the course here at TPC Scottsdale.
Yeah, the length of the hole hasn't really changed. Used to be 2 fairway bunkers down the left, now there's only 1. Still a hazard that runs down the right side. A strategic hole if you can't make this par 5 and 2 in a brand new green that has been completely changed.
This is when the game is fun, Frank, when you get one high in the air and you have a down breeze and you just watch it stays in the air forever.
Yeah, the hang time on that.
That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up.
It's no snack, though.
Wow, I thought he made that. So the eagle goes begging. He still has this for birdie. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
So a good birdie, and the score looks good too. 2 under for the tournament. Now back over to the fourth. Frank, you have to be impressed with what you've seen from the golfer so far.
It's rock solid. The ultimate of professional. Doing exactly what you should be on a day like today.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
What a nice shot. Right on the green and a pretty easy putt on the way. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Once considered the best PGA teaching pro in the country, our featured golfer makes birdie and now sits comfortably inside the cut line. Well, Frank, now at the 5th hole, the par 4, the challenge stiffens just a bit.
Yeah, the longest par 4, obviously in the start of this golf course, around the 470-yard mark. 2 bunkers down the right have been changed to 1, but it's in the perfect position now. Just that new tee added to add a little bit of length to this hole. The green still remains relatively similar to what it used to be.
On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
Ready to tee off now at the 6th. This is a dogleg left.
And another hole that's been stiffened by bunkers on both the left and the right side, really giving you the decision on what club to hit. Should you be bold or should you be smart?
He just blasted that one down the fairway, out there about 325 yards. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
That incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Excellent read for birdie to move to 5 under for the tournament. On to the par 3 7th, 215 yards from that back tee box, Frank.
This hole hasn't really changed. Still has that V-shaped green where it's very narrow in the front. a high-flying shot in here that carries that front edge, and you'll find the further and further you go back there, the more receptive, and that green starts to widen.
That'll leave him with a good birdie opportunity, only about 10 feet away. That's a good shot. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, the par 4 8th, this is a good hole.
It is a dogleg to the left, forces the player to go out the right, and this will play every inch of its yardage, which is over 470 yards. Green's still pretty much the same with that false front. Unless there's a flag position in the front, you're really going to have to fly at least 20 yards or so into that green. Otherwise, that ball is going to run towards the front.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Locked in on the read and the speed. Just has the feel today. Rounding out the front 9 with a par 4 of 453 yards from the back tee. Looks to be straight away here, Frank. Anything to be cautious about on this tee shot?
Well, that bunker, used to be 2 bunkers down the right side. There is now 1, and it also pinches into the fairway, which almost makes this hole look like a faint dogleg right. But really, the best line is still down the left side, so it still actually suits a draw off the tee. Green is slightly elevated and not very deep too, so judging that second shot, getting the right club is essential here at 9.
That will be a great look at birdie. Now a 7-footer. On fire right now. 7 under par. Setting up to start the back 9 here, and if it's anywhere near as good as the front 9, Frank, he'll be very happy with his score at the end of the day.
Yeah, the hardest thing right now is to just keep doing the same thing without focusing on the score.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are, because, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Down, little Sheba, down! Just averted danger right there, so close.
Why does he have all the luck? Really? This is an awkward length.
Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. On to the par 4 11th hole. Frank, what's the best play here?
No bunkers really here to worry about, Rich, so you have to pick something in the distance as a good line. Something a little bit away from the water that protects the left side of this fairway. And it's adjacent to the 15th hole, the other par 5 coming home. So a good drive, perhaps with a little bit of cut off the tee. And that should shape up nicely for this long par 4.
Ready for a second shot, trying to knock it on the green.
Should be safely on deck.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Well, Frank, this is kind of the forgotten par 3 on the back 9 here at TPC Scottsdale. All of that attention on hole number 16. What do you think of the par 3 12?
This is by far tougher, Rich. Downhill tee shot, especially off that back tee. Bunkering down the left, sort of it catches your eye, but it also takes your eye off the water, which is behind and to the right of this green. You've got to be careful. This is a real sleeper, this par 3.
Now to double figures under par. That's a good place to be. 10 under. Par 5 13. Frank, what kind of scoring opportunity is this?
Well, anytime you get on a par 5, obviously birdies and eagles come to mind. 13's been changed a little bit over the years. The split fairway's gone. Now it's just one fairway. Water in play, bunker on the left side. They certainly define this fairway. And they've toughened up the front and left side of this par 5 green. The longer hitter, the high ball hitter, still will get a reward at 13.
Frank, he could make eagle right here with a really good approach shot.
Yeah, well within his reach too. And Rich, if we just sit back and relax here, I think we're going to see perhaps a very good look at eagle coming up.
Be happy with that one, about 10 feet away. Good shot. He's done it. That's an eagle right there. Tremendous effort. Par 4 14th, Frank, it seems as though you'd be pretty happy with a par here.
You would, even though the putting surfaces here at TPC Scottsdale are excellent. It's going to take 2 good shots to reach this 14th hole. You can get in a little bit of trouble off the tee. That bunker on the left very much in play. The rough on the right side is no snack either, because the ball, more often than not, will finish well above the player's feet. And of course that green is very, very narrow, well protected by bunkers on the left.
Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. I mean, almost hard to believe. 13 under already. Now at the par 5 15th, and Frank, there is plenty to catch your eye. There's also quite a bit to catch your ear. You can hear the roars at the par 3 16th. So how do you focus on the task at hand?
Great question, Rich. You know, you realize you're about to enter the stadium part of the golf course, but this is the last par 5 that you're going to play. We've seen eagles here over the years. We've seen many a player hit it in the water off the tee or water short of the green. Certainly one of the tougher tee shots coming in. No bunkers here to worry about, just that huge lake to the left. Find the fairway. You might just find the green. Well, this is straight at it.
It's a really good line. That is another laser right at the flagstick. These putts keep the round together. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Well, here we are at the 16th hole, looking at just over 160 yards. Doesn't seem all that daunting, Frank. But 160 yards with 20,000 people, horned into a little stadium in the desert, that makes it a different story.
It certainly is. This was one hole, too, where Tom Watson would send his caddy forward. He would stay back by 15. His caddy would get his yardage. Watson would simply walk on the tee. His caddy would give him the club. He would not go through his normal routine. He would simply just head away. It was one hole that he never wanted to think about. It might look simple, but it's what the player feels.
17th hole, Frank, and this one is really set up for maximum excitement.
Well, there's 2 things that you really think of. How do I play this hole, and how is it going to affect the rest of my round? This is the penultimate hole. If you make a mistake here, it'll carry over. It might cost you the tournament. But if you're a hero, it's going to carry forward to 18. This is why 17 is such a big swing hole.
Couldn't have done much better than that. An eagle is very possible. The second shot now to the par 4. How about that? An eagle. Par 4 18th, and Frank, if you are trying to win the tournament out here at TPC Scottsdale, this is all you want down the stretch.
It is. There's a short bunker there, obviously for the recreational player to respect. 3 bunkers down the right side protected, and that new bunkering situation down the left there to stop the attack of a Bubba Watson or a J.B. Holmes. Now this tee shot is going to have to be respected, and the green too is anything other than flat. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. And getting ready for the putt.
Oh, I thought he had that. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Has it. Good putt right there. So through one round, Frank, our leader really put on a good show today.
They certainly did, Rich. It was truly a great performance, especially from tee to green. It's not easy to come out of the gates like that.
This is EA Sports, PGA Tour coverage coming your way. Simply put, there is nothing like it in the game of golf. It is by far the biggest spectator event in the sport. We're at TPC Scottsdale in Scottsdale, Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. And Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
Well, everybody wants to know about 16, the famed par 3 here, surrounded by those skyboxes. Once again, that'll be a topic of the day. But really, this is a regular sight for the PGA Tour. So those of you that were familiar with the golf course, it's now changed. 2014, the designers Morris and Weiskopf did a massive renovation.
Well over 100,000 fans every day, better than 500,000 for the week. It's a giant party mixed in with a heck of a tournament. Now to the second hole, and Frank, what can you tell us about this par 4?
A new tee has been added, lengthening this hole 30-plus yards. Plus, what used to be just one bunker on the right side of the screen has changed to a little pot bunker, and the addition of 2 bunkers on the left side. Still a semi-blind tee shot, and the hole just bends softly to the left. Another very good par 4 here at TPC Scottsdale.
Second shot, good look at the green. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Well, how about this start? Birdie, birdie to open the round. Now on to the third, first par 5 on the course here at TPC Scottsdale.
Yeah, the length of the hole hasn't really changed. It used to be 2 fairway bunkers down the left. Now there's only 1. Still a hazard that runs down the right side. A strategic hold if you can't make this par 5 and 2 in a brand new green that has been completely changed.
Nice drive right in the fairway and a good swing on that one. This could be a huge momentum swing here, Frank.
Yeah, one more good swing, and he's going to have an eagle putt coming up. I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but it is well on the cards.
This could be a good one. Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Another one inside of 5 feet. Getting set now over the putt. No problems early. Looks good.
Does look good. This bodes well. We might be in for a very, very low round today.
Frank, what kind of shot is required here at the par 3 fourth?
A little drop shot par 3 down the hill in today's standards because it's under 200 yards. Series of 3 tee boxes, so plenty to choose from there. The entry into the green is well protected now by the 2 bunkers, one in the center and one on the right front of this green.
Had a birdie here yesterday in there close. Great opportunity for another one. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now to the 5th hole and a challenging par 4.
Slightly longer this year, played off a new tee at the back, and there used to be 2 bunkers down the right side. They've now been put together to form one and in the perfect position that really make you think about your tee shot. It takes a very big drive to try and carry that bunker on the right. It's going to be at least 315 plus yards to get past that. Green itself still tilts a little left to right and back towards the player.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Go ahead and do that for birdie. Ready to tee off now at the 6th. This is a dogleg left.
And another hole that's been stiffened by bunkers on both the left and the right side, really giving you the decision on what club to hit. Should you be bold or should you be smart?
That one came right off the meat of the bat. He really laid into that.
More than got a piece of that.
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Down, little Sheba, down! Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Birdie try again here today. Doing what needs to be done. You need to make them from that distance. On to the par 3 7th, 215 yards from that back tee box, Frank.
This hole hasn't really changed. Still has that V-shaped green where it's very narrow in the front. A high-flying shot in here that carries that front edge, and you'll find the further and further you go back there, the more receptive and that green starts to widen.
We just saw a player in total control of what he's doing. Didn't miss a green in regulation all day long. Good putt. Frank, the par 4 8th, this is a good hole.
It is a dogleg to the left, forces the player to go out the right, and this will play every inch of its yardage, which is over 470 yards. Green's still pretty much the same with that false front, unless there's a flag position in the front. You're really going to have to fly at least 20 yards or so into that green, otherwise that ball is going to run towards the front.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
That incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Here at the par 4 9th hole, Frank, what's the strategy off the tee?
Well, there's one bunker down the right side that you have to be very wary of. 325 yards to carry that, so it's very much in play, and just over 290 to reach it. Ideally, you have to go left about that down the left side. But really, this is a second shot hole because this green is not very deep.
Slight waggle, relaxed arms, ready to go. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Frank, this is the way you draw it up. This is how the game's supposed to be played.
Yeah, so everything going according to plan.
Continues to and he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. This for another birdie on this hole on the week. Always nice to be comfortably inside that cut line. The wily golf instructor makes birdie. Moving on to the 11th hole, Frank, water all along the left side, 472 yards. How do you handle this one?
Well, this one's weird because the tees are a little off-center. They start down the right side, which makes it into a dogleg. And you mentioned the water. It always comes into play. And there are 0 fairway bunkers. You don't need them here at 11 because really it's all about the tee shot. Find the fairway, then even though it's a long par 4, you should be able to at least attack that green safely. Miss the fairway to the right, which is the bailout side, and your problems are just starting.
That will be a great look at birdie. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Has it. That's birdie. Well, Frank, this is kind of the forgotten par 3 on the back 9 here at TPC Scottsdale. All of that attention on hole number 16. What do you think of the par 3 12?
This is by far tougher, Rich. Downhill tee shot, especially off that back tee. Bunkering down the left, sort of it catches your eye, but it also takes your eye off the water, which is behind and to the right of this green. Got to be careful. This is a real sleeper, this par 3.
And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Par 5 13th, chance for birdie or maybe even eagle if you're bold and brave enough, but also, Frank, chance for disaster here?
Well, there is. Water very much in play down the right side. There's a bunker down the left too. If you finish up in that, there's no way you're going for this par 5 and 2. Then it becomes a little bit of a zigzag mission. The second shot either has to be hit down the right side, just skirting that bunker in the front, or it has to be all carry.
Well, Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You've got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Wow, Nate Siegel makes everybody else look sort of average, Frank.
And look at the size of that lead on the leaderboard now.
Par 4 14th, Frank, it seems as though you'd be pretty happy with a par here.
You would, even though the putting surfaces here at TPC Scottsdale are excellent. It's going to take 2 good shots to reach this 14th hole. You can get in a little bit of trouble off the tee. That bunker on the left very much in play. The rough on the right side is no snack either, because the ball, more often than not, will finish well above the player's feet. And, of course, that green is very, very narrow, well protected by bunkers on the left.
This is a good-looking shot. I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
Frank, we have said it over and over. Another birdie. Great scoring opportunity here at the par 5 15th, but Frank, I'm wondering, as a player, is your mind beginning to think about what's ahead at that par 3 16th hole?
Oh, they are. This is really the finishing stretch at TPC Scottsdale, where you get all these swing holes. 15 is a swing hole. 16, 17, and 18, where so many changes in the score can actually happen. But this one here is all about finding the fairway. A good drive down here will be well rewarded, because you'll have a chance to reach this par 5 and 2.
Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. Making it look easy for eagle. Frank, the one moment that sort of made the 16th hole what it is today would have to be Tiger's ace in 1997 here at the TPC Scottsdale when it was raining plastic cups.
It was also his reaction, too, and that ushered in the Tiger Woods era that we became associated with, which is the fist-pumping, the rowdy spectators. I mean, he was one of the few players that bridged the gap between spectator and golf course. And it still goes on till today. And I think Rory McIlroy probably is the only other player that starts to broach that type of inside and outside atmosphere with golf.
Still to this day, it's the loudest single moment that I can ever remember hearing on a golf course. Now to the 17th, and Frank, fair to say this is one of the best short par 4s in all of golf?
It is. The drivable par 4 that's designed the way it's meant to be played is a winner. The ones that are just shortened to be made drivable, they don't work. This was designed to be a 17th hole, and it was designed to be drivable. You couldn't get a better place, and you couldn't get a better par 4.
Settles in over the putt.
Good roll, good putt.
Par 4 18th, and Frankie, if you are trying to win the tournament out here at TPC Scottsdale, this is all you want down the stretch.
It is. There's a short bunker there, obviously for the recreational player to respect. 3 bunkers down the right side protected, and that new bunkering situation down the left there to stop the attack of a Bubba Watson or a J.B. Holmes. Now this tee shot is going to have to be respected, and the green too is anything other than flat. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Just a couple of feet. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. There you have it. The second round is complete. Another solid effort put together, and it shows on the scorecard.
And after 2 rounds, you really start to see not only who's playing well, but who's consistent.
Today's coverage brought to you by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Here at the TPC Scottsdale in Arizona, and Frank, when so many people tune in to watch this great event, they think immediately of the 16th hole with all of those fans jammed in. It's like Fenway Park inside the desert there, but it's much more than that little par 3, isn't it?
It certainly is more than that, Rich. The TPC Scottsdale is a great venue for a PGA Tour event. It's a blend of everything: birdie opportunities, holes that are fought by water, bunkering that's being changed. All in all, it's a great atmosphere with nearly 500,000 people that visit this during the tournament week.
So coming off the birdie on the previous hole, a chance now for yet another one.
And momentum all in his favor.
Par 4 second hole, a little bit longer than the first, this one at 442 yards.
Yeah, they've added a new tee, changed the bunkering down the right side. Still a semi-blind tee shot, a hole that bends softly to the left side. The bunkering around this green has changed. Still, it requires a very precise tee shot. Whoa, talk about taking the head cover off and let it fly. That's beyond long.
Goodness, did he get all of that one? Wow. Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
And he has it for birdie. Now on to the third, first par 5 on the course here at TPC Scottsdale.
Yeah, the length of the hole hasn't really changed. It used to be 2 fairway bunkers down the left. Now there's only 1. Still a hazard that runs down the right side. A strategic hole if you can't make this par 5 and 2 in a brand new green that has been completely changed.
They'll be happy with that. In the fairway, now a good chance to attack this hole. Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. Good swing, good shot yet again. Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. That's good work right there. Just a tap in. Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. Good putt. Really nice mix of holes to start here at TPC Scottsdale. The 2 4s and then the par 5. Now our first par 3. Just a little over 180 yards, Frank.
Plays a little downhill, longer than what it once was. Green is radically different. Used to be deep, now it's wide. And the bunkering, of course, is visually totally different from what it used to be.
Good chance at one.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie.
It's that sneaky distance,
So close.
and yet it still counts for another shot.
Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now. Try to walk away with the par.
So a tester from 4 feet.
He's made it. Now to the 5th hole and a challenging par 4.
Slightly longer this year, played off a new tee at the back, and there used to be 2 bunkers down the right side. They've now been put together to form one, and in the perfect position that really make you think about your tee shot. It takes a very big drive to try and carry that bunker on the right. It's going to be at least 315 plus yards to get past that. Green itself still tilts a little left to right and back towards the player.
This hole really sets up well for the player. Birdie yesterday and a chance for another one today. That shot falls for a birdie. Par 4 6th, and Frank, a couple of options here.
Yeah, a hole that bends to the left. A draw is the preferred shot off the tee. The longer hitters will have a big advantage. They'll be able to get it down there and just have a pitch or a short wedge into this. If you're not, that long, then you're going to have to lay it back short of those bunkers. That's going to leave a lengthy second shot.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Second shot, good look at the green.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. Now to the second par 3 on the front 9. This is the 7th hole.
Yeah, quite a stiff par 3 because of the narrowness in the front. Really favouring a higher shot that's going to land softly, and therefore you can open up that green, because the further back you go, the wider it gets.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, and trying for another one today. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
This is a good hole, Frank, the par 4 8th.
Yet another dogleg left, Rich, on the front side. And it's a sharper dogleg now because they've put in 2 bunkers down the left side. It used to be a bailout area for the players in the past. You can't do that anymore. And I doubt anybody can fly it over that left one. It's really 330 yards to carry that in the air. Those 2 bunkers have forced the players to go out to the right, making that second shot a little bit longer now.
About 120 yards to the hole. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good. Line looked good. Just did not take that final break.
These putts keep the round together.
Dwindling the holes down. Pars are fine right now.
Finishing out the front side now at the 9th. And Frank, what do you think of this par 4?
Nice way to finish the front 9, Rich. Very thin green, protected by that little splash bunker in the front. Iron players get a real advantage here. 1 bunker down the right side to be aware of off the tee, though. I doubt anybody could carry that.
Ideal position, sitting up perfectly. See if our featured player can do something right today.
Yeah, when you swing in well, obviously target looks as big as a barn, but on days like today, everything looks difficult.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Locked in on the read and the speed. You always like that. Count it as a birdie.
Setting up to start the back nine here, and if it's anywhere near as good as the front nine, Frank, he'll be very happy with his score at the end of the day.
Yeah, the hardest thing right now is to just keep doing the same thing without focusing on the score. That's an absolute beauty.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Frank, through the years, we have seen countless what we would call good ball strikers, great swingers of the golf club, but there is something else that separates those kinds of players with the truly great achievers in the sport. What is it?
Great achievers have more than one plan. I think most players, it's always good if they're playing their golf. But what do you do if your driving is off or if your iron play is off? Do you have a plan B? Great players not only have a plan B, they have a plan C as well. And that's the difference. So when you set foot on the first tee, you've also got to be aware of, what if my driver doesn't go as well as I would like to, or my iron play isn't as sharp? Can I still compete?
So they can turn 74 into a 71.
That's right. And at the end of a 4-day tournament, the 71 doesn't look so bad, even if somebody shot 65 that day. Remember, as you know, and both of us know now, when you look at 4 days, someone always plays average for a day. Or they don't play bad.
Golf tournaments aren't 100-yard sprints, they're marathons. Clip that one perfectly, and it spins in there inside of 5 feet. Just a gorgeous shot. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, you think about the great putters of all time. I think the one name that generally jumps up with golf aficionados is Ben Crenshaw, and he learned to play and to putt from his beloved longtime instructor Harvey Penick, who taught Ben and Tom Kite and some others to play from, as he said it, from the cup backwards. You know, everybody loves power. We all like to drive it a long ways, but Harvey stressed the importance of the little shots, and obviously it paid off with Ben Crenshaw.
Really solid stroke.
Par 5 13th, chance for birdie or maybe even eagle if you're bold and brave enough, but also, Frank, chance for disaster here?
Well, there is. Water very much in play down the right side. There's a bunker down the left too. If you finish up in that, there's no way you're going for this par 5 and 2. Then it becomes a little bit of a zigzag mission. The second shot either has to be hit down the right side, just skirting that bunker in the front, or it has to be all carry. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Very possible. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. And he's made it for eagle. Par 4 14th, Frank, it seems as though you'd be pretty happy with a par here.
You would. Even though the putting surfaces here at TPC Scottsdale are excellent, it's going to take 2 good shots to reach this 14th hole. You can get in a little bit of trouble off the tee. That bunker on the left very much in play. The rough on the right side is no snack either, because the ball, more often than not, will finish well above the player's feet. And, of course, that green is very, very narrow, well protected by bunkers on the left.
Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
So the dominant performance continues.
Yeah, we're watching 2 tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
All right, Frank, now the fun begins. We are teed up at the par 5 15th hole. Plenty to talk about here.
Yeah, the fairway down the left side is anything other than straight. It's more like a shipwreck, the raggedness of it. And that water in play, well, if you do find one on the fairway, you can sort of always wave across to the people that are walking down the 11th hole. Find the fairway, you can reach this par 5 and 2. A little bit of an island-looking green there, bunker on the left, and also another bunker just short right. But a fairway missed here. Well, you can rack up 5, 6, 7. You've seen all sorts of scores here at 15.
That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. He's made it. Here we are at the 16th hole, looking at just over 160 yards. Doesn't seem all that daunting, Frank. But 160 yards with 20,000 people, horned into a little stadium in the desert, that makes it a different story.
It certainly is. This was one hole, too, where Tom Watson would send his caddy forward. He would stay back by 15. His caddy would get his yardage. Watson would simply walk on the tee. His caddy would give him the club. He would not go through his normal routine. He would simply just head away. It was one hole that he never wanted to think about. It might look simple, but it's what the player feels.
17th hole, Frank, and this one is really set up for maximum excitement.
Well, there's two things that you really think of. How do I play this hole, and how is it going to affect the rest of my round? This is the penultimate hole. If you make a mistake here, it'll carry over. It might cost you the tournament. But if you're a hero, it's going to carry forward to 18. This is why 17 is such a big swing hole.
Well, bring the hammer, why don't you? Setting up an eagle opportunity. Good putt.
Rich, 18 was always considered a long finishing hole.
Not for J.B. Holmes.
Yeah, the water was always in play. And then the day he took it over the left side and carried everything and went on to win, that completely changed the way this golf course played ever since that day.
And it resulted in some of the changes we're seeing now.
Yeah, evidence, the new bunkering down the left side. But it showed us all how much and how strong these guys are, how much they've improved over the years.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Solid play, heart of the green. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Just 5 feet left.
Well, even with making a mess of that hole, I really don't think it's going to make a difference to the outcome of the event.
And that wraps up the third round. Just one more to go before we crown our champion.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm looking at my crystal ball, Rich, but that champion that we see tomorrow might be the one just sitting at the leaderboard on top of it right now.